Hey everyone, welcome to this DIY inspired by the Evil Eye charm. For this DIY you will need air-dried clay or regular clay, but I personally use air-dried, acrylic paints, a bowl of water and everything else you can find in your house that could help you. First, I decided to make 2 Evil Eye inspired incense holders, and for this I started to prepare the clay and spreading it with a rolling pin. I would be careful not to roll it too thin or it will break very easily. I used a tiny bowl to determine how big I wanted my eye to be. Then I fixed tiny mistakes with water and smoothed the surface. And once I was satisfied, I laid it out to dry. For my second incense holder, I decided to use the shape of an eye. I marked the place where the iris was supposed to go and used an extra ball of clay to make it more 3D. Because I thought it would look cute, but in the end it kind of turned out looking strange. To glue the 2 clay pieces together, I tried to create a transition, taking some clay from the upper part and mixed it with the lower part of the eye, and I used water to smoothen everything out and make them connect. Then I poked a hole where the future incense was supposed to go, which I had forgotten to do for the other one. I added some details I thought would look cool, just to discover that the whole eye ended up looking kind of weird, so I decided to put it close to the ceiling to overlook my room instead of on my altar, and that's where it's currently sitting. Because I lost all of the painting footage for both of the incense holders, I decided to substitute it in this video with the painting process of a bowl I made. This bowl is separate and wasn't supposed to be part of this video. To make a bowl like this, you can just roll out your clay like before and tuck the clay inside or outside a bowl you would like to replicate and cut the excess clay off to get a nice edge and then let it dry. This kind of protection charm dates back to the 6th century before Christ and is actually not called the evil eye but protects you from the evil eye, which is an evil look that's meant to harm you or bring you harm. So this kind of protection magic means to turn away or turn back harm from people who would curse you with the evil eye. It's known in many cultures, but the most prominent are Mediterranean and West Asia. At the end, I furnished everything to give it this shiny glow. My first incense holder has a protection sigil on the back, which I painted over with black. Sadly, I made the hole too big for my incense holder, so every time I try to put an incense stick inside, it just keeps falling off to the side. So I decided a better way to use this would be as a charm. I got some transparent thread I had and knotted it on one end to hang it above my bed or above my altar, and currently it's hanging above my bed overlooking my sleep area. The bowl turned out super cute and I'm very excited about it, and I decided that for the moment I want to use it to dry my olive leaves. The last project I wanted to make were some evil eye beads. I already have some I took from Greece, but not nearly enough for a specific protection spell I wanted to do, so I decided to create my own. And for this I just decided to take some tiny pieces and some bigger pieces of clay and started rolling them in my hands to make the bead shape. And here you can get really creative because there's no limits to shapes you can make. I decided to make some round ones, big and tiny. To get the hole inside for the thread later on, I just used a nail I had laying around, but you can also use everything that's sharp and pointy like a toothpick or a needle. To create bigger holes, I used the end of a brush. You can really just search your house to find tools that could help you. If you want to make sure that all your beads are evenly sized, you can roll out your clay and cut evenly sized pieces out of it to make sure all of your beads are the same size. In the last step, I decided to paint all of the beads. That was quite difficult because they are so tiny. So for some of them, I actually poked them onto a piece of metal wire to hold it with one hand to paint it with the other. You can also use a toothpick for this again, or anything that's like pointy. Because they're so tiny, it's a bit complicated to get them perfect, but I think they have quite a charm, and you can see that they're self-made, which I think is very lovely. I painted a black dot, then the bright blue center around it. In the beginning I painted white, a white circle around the bright blue one, but the clay is already white, so for the last ones I just stopped that because it made no difference. And the last one is a very dark blue I had. I went over these beads like 2-3 times to fix some tiny mistakes and make the color more vibrant. You can just do this as you please. There are many ways how you can use these. I personally will use it for protection spell. I might share in another video, or I might do a video sharing way to make them into witchy jewelry or wall decoration. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got inspired to create your own magical tools. And I hope I see you next time. Bye bye!